So what happened, Anuj? How did you get so passionate about productivity, man? I mean, all of us like to assume that we are passionate about, getting more things done or whatever, but we don't, and we're just so disorganized, and almost we're like at least I'm like a leaf in the wind. I have
Hmm.
so much passion and energy, and I have so much ambition that I do end up getting things done. But the difference is that I have to put myself through a lot of stress. Sometimes I have to like really hammer down, or I have to really super focus to get things done. Whereas because you are so organized, you just happen to get things done easily, swiftly. You have so many tools that you use. You're introducing me to apps, you're introducing me to methodologies, books that are written on this subject, and it's just so awesome. How did you get into it? What was your motivation? Because I any world class guy that I have met in my life that got really good at something, there has to be a negative anchor over there.
Hmm.
Like they always have some kind of a negative anchor where they, really were terrible at it, and they were so terrible at it that that gave them the drive to then become the best in the world at it. And I've seen the tip of the iceberg. Why don't you tell me about, what's beneath the water? How did all of this start, and how did you get so at such a level?
Yeah, it's a journey. It's a long story. I'm 32 now, and I would say a little bit of background about my schooling and college years will set the tone of how I reached where I am. In school, I like to have fun. I enjoyed substances um, to feel what I don't feel in a conscious state, to experience
Did
probably
you
something which is beyond.
Were you into alcohol ever? Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I
big time,
had
bro. Big time. Huge.
I was big time into alcohol, dude. I Oh my god, like from 18 till 22, I was just, I couldn't wait to get to the evening so that I
Hmm.
could just start drinking. Like
No,
it
I I have to share this. You sound like a good boy, 18 to 22. I mean, I'm sure you must have done a lot of bit in that phase. I started drinking when I was 13, bro. 13 to
Oh
14.
my god.
Now hear this, okay? Talking about dark and negative anchors. I've had the most expensive to the cheapest whiskey you can get as a little teenager. I had the audacity to walk up to a wine and beer shop and buy, being a 15-year-old on my own, without even carrying in my school uniform. And look at India, where we are at, just pouring in bottles of alcohol to me, little child. I used to have a whiskey little peg, a couple of pegs, and then go for my football training early in the morning. I used to go high and then work out and play and all that, So I did my kind of stuff. I used to like literally sneak in a bunch of beer cans in a big bag into someone else's home who's a friend I'm staying at, and the parents at home also, and then just drink in the room like little kids while playing. Parents were thinking we're playing video games, which we were,
Nice.
but high. So
Nice.
alcohol happened, a lot of other substances happened, maybe not the most reasonable to go into it right now, but basically I was just having an explorative time. I wouldn't even blame myself that I had evil intentions. I really had pure intentions because I wanted to feel good. I didn't feel probably as good as I felt I could feel. I had all the comforts, don't get me wrong. I had a great childhood. My parents were super loving, are super loving, not just were. And I was going to a good school. I was surrounded by nice people. Although GD Goenka has some kind of people, rich people coming in with not too much conservatism in them. So I was kind of, I had everything, still everything that someone needs, but still something was missing. And I did my schooling. Then after that, I felt that I need to, somehow the universe conspired and I went to England. The plan wasn't there. My parents didn't want to send me, but then I went. I Something inside me said you have to go. You have to explore. That explorative vibe was always in me. So
Right.
I went for 3 years to the UK to study in Warwick University, and there I got
Oh, you
more
studied
into
in UK? I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
crazy.
spent 3 years there, and such a beautiful place. That's where I feel I had my first connection with nature. It was like
Mhm.
this big campus with lots of lakes and mini forests, and ducks, and just good air, good weather. I like the cold, just like you.
Right.
So I spent 3 years there. I didn't learn much. I did accountancy and finance on paper, but I don't feel I learned a lot technically there. But I just found some calm and peace on living on my own, without the distractions or the over engagement and overstimulation that Delhi would offer. So that was the golden period where I started to really know who I am and get in touch with it. I mean, I wouldn't say I was meditating, but that silence was automatically getting me into that meditative vibe. And I kind of became a little less social. In school, I was really social. I was like, hanging out with people all the time. Even I need to go to spend night with my friends' homes. I didn't want to be alone at all. I don't know why, but I
Hmm.
just I just like people. I had a lot of friends in school, but in university, I had a small bunch of friends. I was just on my own. I started smoking a lot of marijuana there, and that did something to me.
I never, dude, I never enjoyed marijuana. I don't know why. Like, and you're a guy that really enjoys marijuana, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
enjoy, you
enjoyed.
don't smoke anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, no.
But like, all marijuana did for me is just made me sleepy, which actually
Mm,
helped me at some point in my life because there was a point in my life when I used to play so much poker, I used to gamble so much that my
mm,
brain became so active that I couldn't sleep.
mm,
I literally
mm,
couldn't sleep. So either I had
mm,
to drink myself to sleep, but then
mm,
that was very destructive. I would have a headache the next day. So marijuana
mm,
worked purpose perfectly because I would just smoke and then I would just
mm,
sleep and I would wake up
mm,
fresh. In like 6 7 hours,
mm.
I would wake up fresh. Did
Yeah.
you have that effect with marijuana or no?
I think there were variables involved. I don't know how your diet and other patterns were going, but my diet was terrible. So I feel these also other things play a role.
I mean, I was just very carb heavy, just
Mm.
eating a lot of
I,
carbs. Bread,
I
I
was
love
sugar
bread.
heavy, too much sugar. I was having too
Me
much sugar
too. I
in
mean, when I say
university.
carbs, obviously sugar goes without
Okay.
saying. Fucking
Mm.
desserts and the
Yeah,
whole thing.
yeah,
I still love desserts, man. I
yeah.
actually have a pretty good knowledge of nutrition and all that, but I just can't keep my hands off desserts. And
Mm.
that's why I end up putting on weight and then I lose it and then yo-yo effect, you know.
Yo-yo effect. Yeah. So, regard to answer your question, sleep. Yeah, I used to sleep well. I mean, I was smoking all the time, so I didn't know if smoking is helping me or not. I didn't know the other
Right,
side. I was
right. But what
perpetually
did you
stoned.
get out of it? Like what did you like about it?
What did I like about it? I have to dial back to a point. The first time I smoked, um, I just realized that I was creating artificial pressures in my mind, which I wasn't aware of.
Hmm.
Especially when I had a lot of fears. Like,
Okay.
one big fear was for me to not stay out till late at night. I really had to sing. I used to sneak out at night. I used to be so fearful. Ki, what if my people find out at home, or I'm doing something really stupid at 2 a.m. On the streets and my parents don't know I'm out, or stuff like that. So, um, yeah, a lot of guilt melted, unnecessary guilt for no reason. Just being a nice person at heart, at large, doing a few things here and there. But that guilt was just over amplified in my head. I never
Hmm.
expressed it to anyone. I was trying to be the cool guy who doesn't care, but internally I was just heavy with guilt. I felt I'm doing something wrong. I can't even define what that guilt was. It was just this heavy sinking feeling. Smoking just made me relax, and not relax in a physical sense
That
that I
makes
was.
sense. It does make you
I was
relaxed, man. It does. And that's probably also why you ate a lot of junk food because I don't know
Yeah.
why I don't identify with you as like a big foodie or whatever. Like not like a junk food person, but I think this the pot was doing that to you because you
Yeah.
get the munchies and then you start eating and then you build up an appetite.
Mm.
Just like the more you eat, then the next day the more. But I never remember you as overweight, man. Like you were
No,
always
I
skinny.
wasn't overweight. I wasn't overweight, but I think I was low on muscle mass. So it
Right.
was just, it doesn't matter how big or small you're, right? It's about how much lean muscle you have, what your BMR is like, and all that.
Right.
So I wasn't, I was slightly overweight. I was 20 kgs above what I am now. I was around
What are you
39.
saying? Really?
Yeah, yeah. There was a phase when we didn't meet in the middle, and that's where I put on way more weight. And then,
Ah.
yeah, we'll come to that. That was a journey. So I
Huh.
used to eat a lot of stupid stuff and smoke a lot of pot. Occasionally drink. So what smoking pot did was made me a little more intuitive and to myself, and connecting at with myself in different ways, which I wasn't before. and cut me out from all the alcohol and parties and all that somehow, naturally. There's no
Right.
external circumstance that led me to that. I used to just enjoy being with myself, watching a few documentaries,
You used to
playing a
smoke
lot of
alone?
poker. No, no, no. I had friends mostly, but sometimes alone also. I feel it's nice to smoke alone. I think it's a
I
good
used
thing.
to
I don't
drink
feel.
alone. I used to love it. And I
I
did the
think.
same. You spoke about
Mm,
documentaries. I used to watch interviews of people
right.
that I wanted to be like. And but then I
Mm.
just used to drink and then watch it. I loved it.
Dialing back to our conversation about how I was going through my journey of
Yeah.
schooling and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
university and then that pot life and a lot of nature slash poker slash documentaries. Honestly, it was just a fulfilling time. A side of me is like I could have done so much. I could have, worked out, gone to the gym. They had such a nice
Hmm.
gym in the university, etc. But I would say I won't change it. It was just beautiful how it happened. All the mistakes that happened is great.
And those
After
are the anchors
university,
that are now set, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
That's
if I was
that's
just
the
if I was just born into being productive and disciplined and all that, I don't know if how much I would value it or see it in the light that I do now. And especially my work being working with other people who have similar struggles of different varying degrees. I just get people quick. I get where they're at and etc. Otherwise, I would have
yeah.
had a
You know
disconnect.
both sides. This is what I tell my mom. Like my mom never smoked, never drank in her life, never watched a lot of television also. Like she didn't
Can't
make a lot of
connect.
mistakes. She did a lot of the like by the book right things. But I tell
Mm,
her, like, you don't understand. Like I've been on both sides. So the way I understand, like you and I
mm,
agree on, yeah, you should not drink alcohol. But the way
mm,
I understand why you should not drink alcohol is like on another level. You cannot,
mm,
and the deeper someone has been in alcohol, the deeper
mm.
he will understand why you should not do it. That's what
Yep.
has happened with you.
Mm.
So those anchors are valuable, man. That time is valuable. That's the cost you
In a
pay,
weird
but
way,
it's worth it.
heavy cost. I wish I'll figure out a way that someone can have the same kind of an outcome without going through those those periods, honestly. But it's okay. And then I came back. Now came the systems bit. This was kind of like the little semi dark period that I went through with some seeds of goodness that were planted with my documentaries and curiosity being nurtured in the right direction. Partially credited to marijuana. I feel it helped me. I can openly claim that marijuana is great. It can help people. I didn't use it the right way. I mixed it with tobacco and rolling paper. That sucks. But I feel that if done in a controlled manner, it's a savior for humanity and